Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues. With this video, I want to talk a little bit about the recently dropped Fantastic Four teaser trailer. This basically just came out as the time of this recording, and I gotta say, as preface to this particular video, I'm somebody who is largely shared in the apprehension, going all the way back to the official announcement of the casting, and things that have come out recently, articles, purporting some tension behind the scenes and stuff like that. I'm definitely not, though, a sort of raging fanboy. You hear a lot of people spouting off already, oh, this is going so far away from the source material, and I definitely think it's much too early to make that kind of a call, because quite frankly, how many TV and movie adaptations have we seen? And I'm not talking really recent ones like Days of Future Past, which have actually, adapted a known comic book story and comic book themes, but how many of these adaptations have we seen actually stick close to the air quotes source material? What does source material even mean? For me, I think it goes one of two ways. That can be story aesthetics, or it can be character aesthetics. The characterizations of the particular characters that make up the Fantastic Four. And how are we going to know that from a trailer? How are we going to know that just from casting? You can put, any face in front of the camera, and they have a chance, if they're a good enough actor and a qualified enough actor with skills enough, to embody that character. So I think there's a lot of knee-jerk reactions going on, and I haven't shared in that. I basically have, been reserving my judgment, wanting to see the trailer, wanting to see more information that comes out about the film before deciding whether or not I was going to sell it off and completely ignore it, or would actually have interest in it. And while it will be somewhat of a controversial reaction, after watching this trailer, I'm actually pretty stoked for it. I gotta be honest. I'm really excited to check this out, and highly curious, because as it turns out, you don't really pick this up from the trailer, but if you look at the description on the official, trailer on YouTube, basically it describes in the synopsis that these are people not going into space, not studying radiation, but actually bridging the gaps between alternate dimensions, and it's actually in an alternate dimension where they suffer their changes or have their powers unleashed, or whatever you want to call it. And I find that highly intriguing. Now, looking at the trailer, though, we begin with some basically cinematography scenes, landscapes, very Americana, and we have this voiceover that basically is talking to us about how the human condition, it's sort of the emphasis of humanity to always be predisposed to wonder, to discovery. And I like that it's hearkening back to sort of what I have always considered to be the heart, or the central, mass of the Fantastic Four, that being science and science fiction and going beyond the knowable world, that kind of stuff. And so we're basically seeing people suited up in what look like spacesuits. You have the military observing this entire affair. They're getting into this cylindrical kind of mechanism that, can fit people in it, but it reminds me of those little spinning devices you see in, sort of like laboratories and stuff like that, where they put liquid drugs inside it and they spin it to shake it up or mix it, get studies of blood tests, and it kind of looks like that, but people are actually getting inside it. And of course, somewhat predictably, there's like an explosion or something goes wrong. People are waking up. Our main cast, made up of Miles Teller, Kate Mara, Michael B. Jordan, Jamie Bell, and Toby Kebbell, respectively, and you see something is amiss. I mean, we're getting shots of what looks like almost an EMP over the city, and you see, of course, Michael Jordan flaming on and everything like that. You see a lot of Miles Teller's reacting to things, but you don't see any sort of Mr. Fantastic elasticity in this trailer as yet. And there is a shot that comes into question that I actually had to freeze frame. It looks like, Michael Jordan's flaming on is actually kind of sort of attacking or reacting to Kate Mara's character. It looks like she's got sort of an energy barrier, which we know Sue Storm, that's one of her powers, as well as, invisibility, which I hope we'll actually see in this film. And it basically kind of sort of culminates with this loose dialogue about, Miles Teller's talking to somebody in a bed, probably the character who will become Doctor Doom, basically talking about the answers that are yet to come. And it's very intriguing to me. And I gotta say, I'm only sort of mildly familiar with a couple of the actors in this particular film. Miles Teller and Kate Mara. Those are the two I'm the most familiar with. Everyone else, not so much, at least from what we've seen of this trailer. And so I like that mesh of having sort of shoe in the door of some familiar faces, but not familiar enough that I'm going to be kind of akin to the former Fantastic Four films. You had Ioan Gruffudd, you had Jessica Alba, Michael Chiklis, Chris Evans. These faces were much more familiar to me than the characters. And so I was seeing those actors kind of playing the characters. They embodied them relatively well. I'd say Ioan Gruffudd was probably the closest to really embodying, somebody that I could look beyond just his face, just the actor's face, and see the character of Mr. Fantastic. And similarly with Chiklis, because of course he had the Thing's rock all over him and everything. But basically, I like the idea of having unknowns in this particular film. I'm not going to be thinking, oh, that's this particular actor, that's that particular actor. I'm going to be able to shut that part of my brain off and just watch the story. And it's going to be highly intriguing to see how this alternate universe effect takes effect in the story, because we are promised that Doom is going to be involved, and he is going to be the chief villain, which is, rightly so. But the idea of an alternate dimension rather than, radiation from space and that kind of thing, transforming these characters begs the question in my mind, well, if they've entered an alternate dimension and this is where they have powers, will they be normal when they come back to our or their predisposed particular dimension, that kind of stuff. And so yeah, in a nutshell, I highly recommend checking out this trailer. Throw all of the preconceptions you have out the window and look at this as objectively as possible, as a really cool comic book feeling, sci-fi movie, action-adventure movie, because that's the vibe I get from it. There are certain dark themes that are implied, but as we know, trailers aren't always, giving us the whole story. They can definitely be tweaked to give you an idea that doesn't necessarily follow to the finished product. But one way or the other, whatever we got in this trailer, I enjoyed the hell out of it, and I'm really kind of stoked to check this movie out when it comes out. And so I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below what your opinions on the trailer are, if you have the same reaction, if you're still apprehensive, if you're completely boycotting it, and all that. Anything goes in the comments below. Let me know what you think. And yeah, I hope otherwise that this video finds you well, and I'll catch you all later. Peace.